Hi there. Welcome to Bourbon Turntable. We are the show that blends the love of music with the love of whiskey. With me tonight, as always, is my very good friend, Drew Crawley. What's up, Drew?
Howdy, sir. Not a whole lot today. Today has been all about recovery.
Yeah.
We were talking before the show. I had some studio time this weekend that was phenomenal. But my fiance and I have been babysitting dogs as a way to help pay for the wedding. And we had a dog from hell. So I think I've slept a combined 15 hours over the last 3 nights. So today was about napping on the couch and catching up on Big Brother, just trash TV. But
Yeah.
today has been a long one. So but very excited to be here. Very excited to have our guest on, our good buddy back on with us. So
yeah, this is gonna be a good one. But before we get in with Dusty, we may get into this a little bit more later. But you had a big recording weekend, right?
Indeed. I think, fingers crossed, the record is done. We have all the tracks done. We've got everything selected. So we were able to go and cut a cover by one of my favorite artists, the great John Prine. We covered Angel from Montgomery. I think we got a pretty unique, cool spin on it. So very excited to have that one done. And then kind of the last song that I wrote for the record, we did all of the skeleton of it and quite a bit more. So very excited about that. We put in, about an 18-hour day. Evan, Mark, Lorenzo, all the guys that play with me in the live band were able to make it up, and we had a really good time. So super excited about that.
Yeah, and we lost Dusty, so
that's all right. He'll be back.
All right. Well, we'll wait on him to come back, and while we're doing that, and speak of the devil, there he is.
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. My Wi-Fi has been. I'm on good Wi-Fi right now, and it just cut out.
Oh, okay. No problem. But before we get in talking with Dusty, we want to tell you about Bar Cart Co-op. Bar Cart Co-op is a collection of friends who produce content for the whiskey enthusiasts. We have shows like Distillers Talk with Alan Bishop and Christy Atkinson. They talk with distillers from across the country and around the world about everything that you could possibly conceive of about what is in that bottle and how it got there. Alan also does a show called One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, where if you're a distiller, whether you work for a distillery or you've got a still in your backyard, you can submit questions to Alan, and he'll answer those questions on Facebook and YouTube. So it's always very cool, very nerdy out kind of thing. And Alan, who apparently does not sleep and has no other free time, does another show called If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. This show drifts a little bit away from the whiskey and spirits world and gets into the spirit world some. Talk about ghosts, talk about UFOs. I'm going to be on there pretty soon and talk about church, Christianity, and so that'll be an interesting conversation. My Whiskey Den with Pat and Mike and Mitch airs Monday night live, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. My Whiskey Den's where craft whiskey is king. And we also have the newest member of Bar Cart Co-op, Whiskey in My Wedding Ring with David Levine. David just did a private selection pick of Jack Daniel's Rye, which was just fantastic stuff. And I'll have to share that with you pretty soon, Drew. And we're going to tell you just a little bit more about our show.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification to find out when new episodes come out, which is every Wednesdays on all of your streaming services everywhere, Apple, Spotify, whatever other ones there are, and the YouTube where you can watch the live recording itself.
Thanks a lot, Mike. We appreciate your contribution to the show every week. You're such a good sport to put up with our crap. Hey, Dusty Bo, welcome back to Bourbon Turntable, buddy.
Hey, man, thanks for having me again. My pleasure.
Thanks for coming, man.
You got some good stuff going on, and we want to dive into that. You've got a tour that you're kicking off. Let's see, where did that go? I've got something here. Thursday, October 5th, 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Fox Den in Louisville. If you're in the Louisville area, you need to be there, 9 o'clock. Are you playing outside, inside? Where are you playing?
We'll be outside, on the sky deck, I believe is what they call it. The sky dome deck.
Yeah.
Outside. Yeah, we're outside.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Good. good.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a wonderful night for it. I know we'll have a wonderful night of music, but then you're going on an extended tour. You're calling the Westbound Mess Around, right?
Yes, sir.
I love it. And by my count, it's 25 cities in 6 weeks, going to California and back, basically, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's cool.
11 states, 25 cities.
All right, man.
It's one way to see. It's one way to see the world. One way to see.
Yeah, man. And we got to balance out pretty nice. We're not the gig. We're not doing. It's a lot of gigs, but it's not like a brutal schedule. You know what I mean? Which is nice because I like, one of my favorite parts of touring is just having the time to hang and see new places. Just not just performing, but like getting out and like checking the spots out.
Yeah.
Now, last time we talked, you were looking at purchasing a motorhome or a camper trailer. What'd you end up doing there? How are you guys making this trip happen?
So I did get a camper before the last tour, and we took it. It was great, but it was also a pain because we couldn't go over 60 miles an hour, and we had to stop every 200 miles for fuel. So it was the time, and also like driving through cities was a major pain. But now I upgraded my truck. I actually got a 4-door. So because we got 4 people now, which is, a great thing that they both don't have to, pile on top of each other in the back of the truck. But,
sure.
And then we're just pulling a gear trailer, and we're staying in hotel rooms, and a good amount of people are letting us crash at their places too. So we're very grateful for that. Yeah. So it'll be a lot more comfortable of a situation.
That's
good
terrific.
deal.
All right. Yeah. So we want to toast your tour with some whiskey, or I actually am drinking a brandy tonight. But so Drew, why don't you start us off here and tell us what you're drinking and what it's about?
Absolutely. So I'm not nearly as exotic as to have a brandy, but I am sipping on a little JW Dant tonight. That is one of my rotating house bourbons. We have a little, you've been here, but you guys have seen the little decanter and bar setup, and that's just one that we kind of use to fill it. It's a Heaven Hill product, bottled and bond. So right at 100 proof, just north of 4 years. I think it's like 4 years and 2 months. Typically is the average of the blend, and just one that I really enjoy sipping on. It makes a great whiskey sour, makes a great old fashioned, and most importantly, it is $14 at the store 2 blocks away from me. So
wow.
I'm not mad about it. It's not the fanciest thing, but man, I enjoy it. It's a good bang for your buck whiskey, and I know we're kind of taking it easy today, or at least I am. I'm in recovery mode, so something a little bit approachable and gentle was on the agenda for me tonight.
Yeah,
it's a nice looking bottle too. For $14, it's a nice looking bottle. It's cool.
Not mad at it. Yeah, pretty different.
Yeah.
So excited to see what they do with the Dant, name and that whiskey in years to come. See who ends up owning it, and it'll be cool.
Yeah. Hopefully something good happens with it. All right, so since Dusty's going out west, I picked something that's from out west, and this is from our friends over at Ironroot Republic in Denison, Texas. This is their they call it sleight of hand brandy, and this is the second batch of that. And I love the first batch, which came out.
The first one's so good.
I think it came out last year.
That's a beautiful bottle,
isn't it? I thought the little gambler guy that kind of fit with you and kind of the motif. Yeah. So Ironroot is in Denison, Texas, which is up near Oklahoma. And this is a Texas brandy that's aged, secondarily aged in a 40-year-old cognac barrel.
So brandy's not a whiskey, right?
No, it's right. It's distilled from a fruit.
Okay.
So a whiskey's going to come from a grain like rye, corn, whatever, and brandy comes from a fruit, grape, apple, pear. So
so it's almost closer to a wine, but it
is like a wine, but a wine's not doesn't actually go through that distillation process.
Okay.
So wine is brandy that hasn't achieved its full potential, is what Alan Bishop
Okay.
says.
I don't
But
know if
this
I've
is-
actually ever
this is
had a
terrific.
brandy. I must have
Well,
at some point.
We can fix that sometime. So
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to.
Excellent.
But
How is it?
Oh, it's like I just opened it a little while ago, so this is just like the second sip I've had of it. It's like orange. There's some orange in it, apple preserves and honey. There's like sandalwood.
Interesting.
Yum.
Yeah, it's darn tasty, and maybe like some peach Jolly Rancher. So
That sounds fantastic.
Fantastic, man.
so Dusty,
Cheers.
let's have a great
Cheers,
tour.
guys.
Hope it all works out better
Yeah,
than
man,
you can
thank you.
expect, and safe travels. So
Thank you so much, man.
all right, so before we get back into the tour, let's talk about the music
Sure.
that you've got. Okay, first album was
Yes, sir.
Vulture and the Fox,
Yep.
and that's darn fantastic. We
It's
Thank you,
incredible.
man.
we've had you on. We talked about that before, and that
Yeah.
it just holds up so well. And
Thank you, brother.
Very, very clever. I went back and listened to it 2 or 3 times this past week because I knew you were coming back on, and it just has such an attention to detail. And there are a couple of songs on there that I gotta think are going to end up being like wedding dance songs and
Yeah.
prom themes, and like No One Else and All I Can Dream are both terrific love songs.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
brother.
I just really, really enjoy that album. And then you did the Live at La La Land,
Yeah.
which is some of the songs from Vulture and the Fox, but you're doing it basically live to tape, right?
Yeah.
Rips.
Yeah.
That one
Thanks,
rips.
man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. If I'm needing to kind of get going, I'm just kind of dragging. I'll put the conductor on, and that'll do it.
Oh yeah.
That'll do it every time. But tell us about what's coming up next.
Sure. So the plan was late last year. We went in and late last year I had a plan to put out another EP. We'll release the live record that we did earlier this year, but then I wanted to release another EP around this time called Smothered, Covered, and Funked. So January we were in Nashville and we recorded this 5-song EP. And we did it all live, basically, other than like the vocals. All the instruments were live, and it sounds great. But then after going back and listening to it, it was just like there's a couple songs that I don't really want to do live as much. And long story short, I'm putting out, we're gonna take 2, maybe 3 of the songs from there and release them as singles. The third one is the second one will come out after we get back from tour. The third one might come out early next year, but I don't know exactly yet because there's going to be a shift in plans as far as when we get back from touring. The tour this year, like next year, I definitely don't want to be on the road as much. I want to put out more music and just write more and just kind of, I hate to say it, but focus more on the social media side of things, just because it's I guess. It's where with all the work that goes into planning a tour, booking a tour, rehearsing, getting all the stuff in line for it, because we've been planning and booking this tour since April. So just thinking of and it's my favorite thing in the world to do is go on the road and play shows and travel. And like, that's why I do this. But as far as like efficiency and like what makes sense and like growing the following and stuff, social media, that's just kind of the name of the game now. And as much as I don't want that to be the way I've tried to avoid it as long as I can. I think a lot of us do for the most part, because it's very daunting and like, just kind of like, I didn't get into this because I want to sit in front of a phone and make videos and post them on TikTok or Instagram. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just,
Yeah,
it's like,
100%.
it's the least fun part of the gig. It's literally like, it's one of the, not so fun parts of the gig, but it's where you really can, like, you see these people that do it and you get some traction. And then it's like, okay, once you do, put, I guess the way I kind of compare, it's like, if I put that amount of time and effort into my socials and content and this, that, and the other, and also putting out more music, writing and recording and releasing more music, I feel that it would be more effective and I'd get a better use of my time and energy than, like, going out and doing these tours. Cause it's again, it's a lot of fun, but I'm trying to take this, things as far as I can. And if we can really up the growth or, grow the following and create a demand, we can go to these, still tour and this, that, and the other, but we will get better guarantees. We'll have fans in more cities and this, that, and the other. And we'll just kind of, you can keep track of all the analytics and stuff. So that's kind of where we're going to be after the tour, is as far as just kind of hunkering down and really like focusing on, the internet world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's sort of an investment, in an increase in efficiency. It's no one's favorite part of doing this. We all do this, you to a greater degree than I, but everybody does this to write and record and play. Nobody does this to be on TikTok or Instagram and market. But if you do it well, it makes the shows, that much more efficient. Like you were saying, the money's better, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, man,
it is an investment, no matter how much it sucks.
Yeah, legit. You're right. It's an investment. You're so right. Exactly.
So good deal.
So with the social media stuff that you do now, has there been anything that you've put out there that you were like, wow, this really, hit big? I don't want to gone viral is kind of a trite expression, but something that was a post that you thought, wow, this did really, really well. What happened?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that, because this is what I was talking. I've been working with a marketing guy recently, and we've been kind of dissecting things as far as like what's done the best for me. And like, for a while I was doing these things called 30 and 60-second guitar lessons, where I would just put I would put up a video showing how I play a lick. Like, cause I can't read music. I don't know theory when it comes to like actually knowing music theory and like all that. It's alien to me.
Right.
But I can still show it's like what I know. And a lot of people, I'd say most people don't know that either. So I was like, starting to do these things. Like, I can just put out these videos and actually like not just be trying to grow my following, but actually have a little bit more of a purpose and show some people. It's like, hey, here's how I do some things. It's like some licks and tricks is what I call it.
Right.
But like, there was a couple videos they put out that were just like bluegrass lesson or easy blues guitar lesson, just like literally a 30-second video showing how I play a guitar lick. And those were there's two videos. I think one of them got like 20,000 views. Another one got like 12 or 15 or something. Nothing crazy. But as far as like, the things that I've done, those got the most. So I don't know if that's what I'm going to do, next year, but it definitely was more than like, that's the bummer again too. Through it, like, as like sometimes, it's like when you put out this like heartfelt video, it's like, hey, here's this album I've been working on for 2 years or whatever, and like, here's a song or video, and then like something that you really care about, and then it just kind of gets, basically crickets, and you put something out just like you don't even really, was mindless in a way.
Right.
It kind of gains traction. But yeah, so those are those little 30 and 60-second guitar lessons were the ones that I guess did the best for TikTok, at least.
Oh, that's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So this week, if I remember your social media post correctly, and if I don't, then you'll correct me. I know you've got a new single that's coming out though this week, right?
Thursday.
Okay, and that single is called
Mess Around.
Mess Around. Okay.
Hence the westbound mess around.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, here we go. That's the
There
tour,
we go.
Westbound Mess Around tour.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, I got a
Very
funny
cool.
thing to say about that graphic later when we'll come back around to it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So tell us about the song "Mess Around" and what we can expect from that, when you wrote it, and that kind of good stuff.
Okay, so this is actually Mess Around is the oldest song that I have that I actually still perform. Me and Luke Powers wrote this, which I know Drew. You've met Luke, haven't you?
We've met a couple
Kevin,
times. Yeah, great guy.
great dude, great songwriter, great guitar player, singer. Kevin, have you met him yet?
No, I have not.
You all should have him on. He's a great dude and great friend of mine. He's actually how I know Mark Roberts.
Okay.
Okay.
At the Monarch, and we used to be in a band together called Bolt Action Thrill. While we were in that band, we moved to LA together in 2009, and in 2011 we wrote Mess Around, and it is a song about just kind of being in, growing up in Kentucky, being a young, dumb adolescent male causing trouble, like, doing the mess around, like kind of just, just put just trouble. Without getting into too much detail. The song speaks for itself, but it's definitely just about just a young, ignorant man.
Okay.
What a lot of us did. A lot of the way me and a good amount of my friends grew up doing dumb things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
It's
a quick burner. It's like a barn burner, got a fun guitar riff and just, kind of a ZZ Top shuffle to it. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun to play.
So you just said Kevin's magic words. So
ZZ Top.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna be.
Yeah. No, ZZ
if
Top's
it's ZZ
good.
Top
Yeah.
guitar riff, we're probably both pretty sold on that. So
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm stoked on that, man.
Yep.
That
Looking
sounds
forward
great.
to that. Looking
Thanks,
forward
man.
to that. So I want to get into some other things with you here in just a second, but before we do that, I want to make sure that everybody knows where they can find you on social media. We'll do this again as we finish things up, but
okay.
I know on Instagram you're Dusty Vox, right?
Yep.
And Facebook, just Dusty Bo.
Yeah, Dusty Bo. I think if you search you search Dusty Bo, and then I think the actual link is like facebook.com/Dusty Bo Music. It's the full link.
Okay. And on Instagram, all your stuff gets posted there, and on Facebook, people can. I know you've been posting events for some of your upcoming shows, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So make sure you, first of all, make sure you're following Dusty on social media because he's got some great stuff out there. And there's going to be some wonderful activity going on. We'll definitely have the link to the new single. We'll have some stuff on the show coming up this week, as well as the rest of the tour as it gets rolling. So this is where you can find Dusty. You're also on TikTok though, right?
Yeah. So, excuse me. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, or I guess it's called X now, whatever. And then even what's the other new one?
Threads.
It's all Dusty Box. All of those are Dusty Box. So there's so many. There's just going to be a library of social apps in the next few years. It's crazy. But yeah, it's all Dusty Box.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent.
Very good. So the band that you're playing with, are these the guys?
Those are the boys. Yep.
Yeah.
So Alex, to my left, everybody's right. Alex Roberts, he's the bass player. He's been with me since we got together in April of 2020 and started rehearsing. And I actually was connected to him through Matt Red Moore, who's the long-haired, backwards hat, handsome gentleman to my right, everybody's left.
Yep.
Who's going to be joining us on guitar and vocals. And then to his right is Michael Stone, who is our new drummer, who came in last minute like a MVP champion from the Angels of Heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
He's a great drummer.
he didn't play on your albums that are out now, obviously.
He did
But
not.
what about the other guys? Were they on that other than?
So the Vulture and the Fox, that was that was not no, but that was basically me. That was none of the current lineups on that one. On Live at La La Land and Mess Around that's coming up, and the next single that'll be out, or the single after Mess Around, which is called Shut Up and Play. Those both have Alex playing bass on them. So
Okay.
Anything I do in the future will be with, now that I have a band. When I recorded the Vulture and the Fox, I didn't have a band yet. So that was basically me and my producer, Michael Esser. He played drums on pretty much everything other than 2 songs. And then me and him played bass on most of the songs. And then I played guitar on everything.
Yeah.
So, and then lead vocals, and we had guest vocal appearance too.
Okay. And I asked the question because on this, every instrument is outstanding. Okay. So
Thanks, man.
Sometimes we'll have bands on and it's like they're really good songs and enjoy it, but there's like, you don't tell them this, but your drummer's not that good. But everything is really well done. I meant to ask you the first time we had you on, but because I was very curious when I listened to it. Everything is exceptional, and
Thanks.
It shows a lot of skill at each instrument that's represented. So kudos to you guys, man. That was some fantastic work.
Thanks, man.
And then the guitar work is exceptional.
Thank you, brother.
I know, Drew, you're a fan, right?
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
You know those things. Dusty, you're 10 times the guitar player that I am. But you see somebody do what you do at another level, and you're like, I quit. I'm never picking up my instrument again. I'm never writing another song, whatever. That's those guitar parts to me, man. You just absolutely destroyed. So it's
thanks,
killer.
man. I appreciate that, dude. Yeah,
Sure.
I definitely got really lucky with the guy that produced the record, Michael Esser. He's also a phenomenal drummer. So that was kind of part of the thing. I was like, we'll just do this together. I don't want to hire other guys to come in and whatnot, because he's a great rock drummer. He can play all kinds of stuff. But yeah, he's on there for, I think he's on 9 of the 12 songs. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's great. So I'm looking forward to hearing your band now when the new single comes out on Thursday, and hearing you guys live Thursday night. So you said you had some stuff to talk about on this graphic, because I want to get back to the tour a little bit.
Yeah. So just something really quick and funny. So you see this Mustang flying off of a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So my friend Casey Jans, who I met at the Monarch, is a graphic designer and artist and whatnot. And, I was just talking with her. I was like, hey, I want to do a rebranding and get, a new logo and some other stuff. And I told her what I was kind of going for, what I wanted. And so but I never told her this. And she showed me this, and this is kind of weird and twisted. But like I said, I don't mind getting weird here. But, whenever that conversation comes up, if you could choose how you would go, if you could choose how you would die or whatever. And I've said for the last several years, I'd want to be in a 67 Mustang flying off of a cliff, 170 miles an hour onto a barge full of dynamite. And I never told her that. And she drew that picture. And before I told her it was the westbound mess around, the car's going west. So
oh, that's cool.
I was like, dude, you had, you felt something, or had, you know what I mean? Like you had. So I freaked out when I saw the picture.
Yeah, that's some magic right there. That's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah,
very
dude.
cool. Very cool. Well, Dusty, I wanted to ask, I'd seen
Yeah.
you working a lot with Mom's Music, one of our local shops, and one of the things I just so admire about you is your investment in Louisville and the Monarch and Louisville musicians, and Mom's is kind of an integral part of the music scene here. So could you speak to how that came about and what you're doing with them and kind of your partnership for this tour and stuff?
Big time, man. Yeah. So also I want to say, well, I don't know if this will come out by the time, but anyways, are we live or is this?
No.
Or,
Well,
okay.
this show will be out on Wednesday.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So Mom's Music, Jeff McNichol, who's the current owner there, I think he bought the store. I think he bought it in 2020. And he is a great guitar player. He was in a band called the War Hippies, and he, I live right by there, so I'm in there twice a week getting strings, at least twice a week or whatever. So when I was going in there, Jeff was just, we kind of hit it off, and then he came to me and he was like, I really like what you're doing, and he said something, or that I really, I guess, kind of I hold dearly, because it's kind of how I try to be. Is he was like, you don't brag about your stuff, you just go out there, you do it, and then people find out about the things you do. Of course, you promote yourself, but he's not, you're not one of those guys that comes in and like talks this big game or whatever. And that's something that I take pride in. I don't like to be like too, even though I'm kind of doing it now, I don't like to be too like boastful, and I try to be humble as much as I can. But anyways, he after, he said that he was like, let me know what I can do to help. And then, he got me an endorsement with a guitar company called Vola Guitars, and essentially gave me a couple guitars, and he just hooks me up anytime I needed anything or whatnot. Like, they let me try out stuff, and like we've without buying it and whatnot. And I've kind of, I'll trade with doing, social videos for them, but they're also sponsoring the tour. So he's, they're helping out with some, some finances as far as, helping out with some fuel and hotel money. So awesome. We're scratching each other's back. Yeah, he's a great guy, and I've been shopping at Mom since I was 13. So it's like that place has been like my home store since I've gotten into music. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I've loved watching it, and seeing that investment come back and be made back in you is really cool. So
thanks, man.
You're leading the charge for the rest of us schlubs here in Louisville.
Oh, come on, man. I'm just a little, I wouldn't say that. It's just, we're all in this together, man. But
I'm just joking. But man, yeah. I really do admire it. It's cool. It's
my
cool
man.
to see.
Yeah, brother.
Mom's Music.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
And the reason it's called Mom's, fun fact, is because their motto is to treat every customer like you treat your mother. So
I like it.
Hopefully everybody has a good relationship with their mother. Some don't, I know, but anyways.
No, it's good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get deeply nerdy, as I always do, usually once an episode when we have a musician on. Talk to us about your gear for this tour. What's your rig looking like? What are you taking on the road?
Taking out my my amp situation is a crate, one of a kind crate 30-watt head. That was a prototype that I was able to snag when I lived in LA from the guy that owned Crate. Actually, Luke snagged for me because he was just getting ready to throw it away, and I bought it from Luke for $100 because he was broke.
Nice.
He needed money to buy his girlfriend a birthday present. He's like, "Will you buy this for $100?" Like, yeah, it's a great amp, 2-channel, all tube, 30-watt screams. Then a 212 Marshall cabinet. I'm bringing a Fender Hot Rod as my backup.
Okay.
And then my guitars, I'm bringing out 2 Strats that are both hot rodded Strats. My black Vola and JK model, and then my backup will be just a standard Mexican Tele. And then pedals are pretty simple. I got just a OCD overdrive, a tube screamer, a wah, and a phaser.
Okay. Sweet.
So yeah,
man, if it's anything like what I've heard from you before, to pull off that amount of tone with that few pedals is impressive.
Thanks, bro.
It goes back to what all the greats say. It's in the hands, right?
It's all in the hands, man. Yeah, it's in the hands. Let me turn this light on. It's getting dark. I'm gonna turn this light on real quick. Hold on, boys.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And then I know it's going to be after everything after this episode comes out, but excited to see the little kickoff party at Mom's on Tuesday. I'm going to try to be there.
Yeah, dude, it'll be cool. And they got a live room in there that we're actually going to try to start doing some stuff next year, like, whether it's live broadcasts, and maybe you guys could work out something with them too, like doing some interviews and stuff in there, because they got like a full on PA, like sound system, and of course all the gear you need. But we're gonna be playing everything in there is stuff that everything we'll be playing will be stuff that you can buy from them.
Very cool.
And also we're gonna have like the new merch, like first whoever comes with that gets first grabs and merch, and we'll get pizza and stuff for people to hang and eat. So it'll be a fun time, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very cool. All right, so let's look at some of the places you're going to be.
Yeah.
So Paducah, that's already happened. So, but that was on the photo.
It did.
So.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Thursday night in Louisville, and then from there, you're headed west.
Yep.
Yeah. Are any of these places that you've never been before?
All of them, except the Viper Room. Literally, every place, every place we're playing on the tour, other than the Viper Room and the 5 spot in Nashville. Well, of course, Foxton. Every out of town place, other than the Viper Room and the Foxton, are places that I've never played at or even been to.
Yeah.
So very excited to kind of see these new joints.
Yeah. So
awesome.
hitting Owensboro on Friday night, and then Cape Girardeau on Saturday, then getting into Lawrence, Kansas, and then doing a little 3-city stop in Texas.
Yeah.
And then out to California.
Yes, sir.
So that's then. So how far north do you get in California then? Is that
furthest going to San Francisco? Yeah, the Throne Art Bar. So yeah, furthest south San Diego, furthest north is San Francisco.
Yep. Okay. Then you start headed back home, hitting Las Vegas.
Yep.
Back in Kansas, Arkansas, and St. Louis. Then finishing things up in Nashville, Tennessee. So
yep.
Man, that's a lot of territory.
Yeah, I know. It's about I did just it's about without like basically from venue to venue and hotel to hotel. It's about 7,500 miles.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's a haul, brother.
I know.
Yep.
Thank God I got a brand new Toyota Tacoma that'll get us there safely.
There you go.
Outstanding.
Shout out Weiler Toyota in Clarksville, Indiana. Thank you.
Are you going to be driving that? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Kevin.
No, I was just going to say I know bands that have the horror stories of, hey, the van broke down and we're stuck in the middle of nowhere, Alabama for 3 days waiting on a part. So you should be good, though. You should be good.
Going back to your earlier, Kevin, or I'm sorry, Drew, talking about the motorhome rig. That's why, like, the trucks. It's not gonna be very spacious, but it's gonna get us there. That was kind of the thing. That's why we didn't. It was like I could get a used van, but I don't want to pay 20,000 miles for a van with 100,000 miles on it, or $20,000 for a van with 100,000 miles on it. Just that's not fully reliable. With
right.
this, not only is it still under warranty, but it's a Tacoma, so it's like
good,
right,
right,
absolutely,
yeah. Four guys in a truck though. Invest in some of those little pine tree shaped air fresheners though. So.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Windows down.
Yeah, Drew, what were you gonna ask?
Oh, I was just gonna say, are you doing the stretch from western Kansas to Colorado, or are you gonna go north when you head that far west? Because I saw Lawrence and Salina, Kansas on your list. I didn't know if you were doing the Western Kansas drive or not.
We're gonna stay as much south as we can. We had a couple offers for Denver and I can't remember the other city that was a little south of Denver. But I really want to, like, as much as I love Denver and Colorado, and I would love to play there, but it's going to be that time of the year where it's like, it's just driving through the Rockies or anywhere where like the weather could get really sticky, like not sticky, slippery. You know, I don't want to,
Right.
I don't want to risk it because, you know, we had the dates. I think it was the November 7th was the date that, so we would basically have to leave Vegas the 5th and then just burn to get to Colorado by the 7th. But I want to go to the Beatles Cirque du Soleil, the Love Cirque du Soleil. So hopefully we're going to try to do that the Sunday after we play and stay the night in Vegas again, because we're actually playing at a buddy's house party, and so we'll stay with him, and then we got 3 days to get to Kansas. So we're going to try to stay as much south as we can to avoid, because you know what I mean, like it can be. I went out to, when we moved out to LA, we went through Denver, and it was in March, and there was a blizzard, and like you know what I mean, like, so it's just, you just don't know. And you know, I don't know, it depends, you know, because we have those days off, but I think we'll probably just, once we leave Vegas, we'll just head, you know, we'll go south of Denver.
Gotcha. I was just gonna say that. I mean, that's the worst stretch of highway in the United States, is that drive through, you know, Colorado through Western Kansas until you get to, I don't know, Wichita. Really, there's nothing. So good luck with that. Find a good podcast or an audiobook that will keep your eyes open, because that's a brutal stretch of highway.
Yeah, man. It really is.
So you talked some about getting back into the social media, focusing on that once the tour is over, releasing new music. What's your ultimate goal as a musician, as an artist?
My lifetime goal is to sell out the Yum Center by 2037.
Okay.
14 years from now, that's what I want to do. I kind of have a 5, 10, and 15-year plan. It's 4, 9, and 14 now, but I'll by 2027 I want to, no, I'm sorry, what would that be? 4 years from now, that'll be
2027.
2027 I want to have played the Yum Center. 2032 I want to have headlined the Yum Center. By 2037 I want to have sold out the Yum Center. And
love it.
That's honestly, that just came about last year because I went to the Yum Center to see Tool.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had I had a moment. I had this like awakening and this like epiphany, I guess, that like, this is what I want to do. You know, this is something like I've had things where it's like, yeah, I want to be on the cover of Rolling Stone, or I want to be on the cover of Guitar World magazine, play these big festivals or whatever, but nothing's ever been like, I guess, hold on real quick. Matt Redmore, nothing's ever been like set in stone. Matt Redmore, special.
Hey,
guest.
Matt.
Hey, Matt.
He's coming on the road with us. He's going to be playing, doing some of his sets too, but he's playing guitar and singing with the band now too. So
yeah,
this is
fantastic.
Kevin and Drew. You've met Drew.
What's up, boys?
Howdy, sir.
Hey.
Good to see you again.
It's good to see you. Good to see you.
Cheers, Matt.
Oh yeah, I just had mine. Let me go take another real quick. Great idea.
He's awesome, man. I can't wait for you guys to see, because you guys have seen me do the 3-piece thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like having him, he's a guitar and vocal maniac, so it's rocking. But yeah, so getting back to what your question was, as far as like that's kind of what I want to do those things. I want to sell out the Yum Center, and like it's one of those, it's like I got time to get to that point, and it's also I'd be about 50 years old when that would happen, and it's just like a lot of other great things would have to come into place for that to happen. It wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just going to do that. You know what I mean? So it would have to have like a pretty substantial following and be able to sell at least a few arenas to do that one. But that's my life goal. That's my lifetime goal, is to sell at the Young.
Okay.
Love
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, just based upon the music that you've got out so far, I don't see any reason you can't do that. It's that good. You just need to get heard by a few more people, and then it's just going to take off for you.
Thank you.
So, you know, we talked about not too long ago, we had a show where we talked about underrated bands, you know, and some of them were bands that, you know, they were record deals and, you know, put out a lot of music, but weren't necessarily as popular as we thought. But we also talked about some of the folks that we know or we've had on the show, and yours was one of the names that came up as somebody whose talent and ability and showmanship is bigger than where you are right now. So it's just a matter of time before that gap gets filled in.
Thank you, man. That means a lot, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Who do you see that you would say, hey, I think this band or this artist is somebody that it's just a matter of time for them, or they've not got their due yet?
Man, well, to be honest, the first time I heard Drew sing, I was pretty surprised that I hadn't heard your name yet. You know, was here at the barn, and the way that you commanded the crowd. So you definitely you're on that list for sure, man. Yeah, brother. There's a band out of Nashville called Ace Monroe that I've done a couple gigs with that I'm pretty sure is going to be the next Aerosmith. They are some young, ripping, handsome, long-haired, a great band, really great songs, and they just put on this like Guns N' Roses kind of energetic show, like just relentless energy, and they can play. They're one. I really think Scott Smith, Jesus. I mean, you know what I mean? Like
that dude is incredible.
He's so good, and it's funny because like he's just, and part of his character, he doesn't. I don't want to say he doesn't care, but it's just like, it's just who he is. He's just like this special cosmic being with this crazy voice and great songs. Lee, Glory Days.
Yep.
I think once he kind of gets out and a little bit more, and maybe gets some more money behind him, or just on the right tour, you know. And I see he just opened for Chadwick, I think. Yesterday.
Yep, at the Headliners last night.
Yeah.
We've been writing together, and oh my God,
great.
the songwriting is just unreal.
He's so good.
Unreal.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, that's all I can really, I guess, think of now. I mean, Hot Brown Smackdown, I think they're gonna go down as one. I mean, they're doing really well, but I feel like they're gonna be, you know, kind of on a, you know, one day like a Fish kind of status. You know, they're just so different and unique, and they can all play so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mojo Thunder too. Those guys kick ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are great.
Yeah, man, and yeah.
Cool.
Those are all I can think of for now.
Yeah. There's great music everywhere.
Yeah.
And, you know, so we want people to support live local music. And that doesn't mean just, you know, mortgaging your future to go to the next Taylor Swift concert. You know, if that's your thing, go for it. But, you know, there's a lot of fantastic music that is coming through your hometown. I don't care where that town is.
Yeah.
You just have to get up off the couch and go and
Legit.
Support what they're doing. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the next place that people will be able to support you and what you're doing is Thursday, October 5th, 9:00 at
Yeah,
the
baby.
Fox Den in Louisville. You guys need to be there. I'm going to be there. We've got a couple friends coming in from out of town. We're going to be there. Drew's going to be there. It's going to be a thing.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a good thing. Now, is Matt going to open for you then too?
He's starting the night off. Yes, and Matt will play from 9 to 10, and then I'll go on at 10:30 and probably play till right at 11:30, 11:35-ish. The set, we just timed the set. It's right at an hour, but we were kind of burning through it without, too much banter in between songs. And then we're going to close out the night with doing some cover jams. So if you stick around, Drew, too, if you want to get up and do some tunes, we'll be there jamming and rocking. It's kind of like,
we'll see.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, no worries if not. But yeah, I know it's gonna be late on school night too. So I get that.
It's all good. That'll be a great night, though. I'm looking forward to it tremendously.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I can't wait.
All right. Well, Dusty, we appreciate you being back on with us. We're very excited about what you've got going, and we're always here to support, help, promote whatever we can do. If nothing else, we'll encourage you and telling you you're doing great stuff, because you are. So
thank you. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, but remind everybody where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads, and Twitter, X. You can just look up Dusty Vox, and then Facebook, Dusty Bo, or Facebook.com/Dusty Bo Music, and then YouTube. You just search Dusty Bo.
Yeah, there's some good YouTube stuff out there too.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's another thing for next year. I want to put out some more video content, because I just haven't really done anything since Live at La La Land. So we're gonna also, another part of the Westbound Mess Around tour, we're gonna get video, including from the Louisville show. We're gonna be getting pretty much all iPhone video, but to make live footage for the Mess Around music video, to put that all together when we're done with the tour. So you know what I mean? Just because that's kind of what it's all about, really, with that song. It's just literally just kind of, the party. So
yeah,
awesome.
That's great. That's great. Drew, where can people find you?
Yep, you can find me on Instagram at drew.crawley63. I am still holding out on X or Twitter or whatever it is, but that's just for me to be a jerk about politics or whoever pissed me off in traffic that day. And then DrewCrawleyMusic.com is the best place to find links for Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music. We have a single that will release October the 13th, so that's 2 weeks from now, and that is something that I think, Kevin, you've heard, and Dusty, you probably heard it the day after I wrote it at one of our writers' rounds.
Which one was it?
It's Palomino. So that'll be coming out.
Yeah,
I'm stoked on that. So just keep your eyes peeled, and ears open wherever you listen. That'll be out in a couple weeks. So yeah, thank you.
Beautiful.
It's fantastic. As for us, you can watch our show on YouTube. Subscribe while you're there. You're watching the show. Hit the subscribe button. It won't hurt you. You can listen to the show on your favorite podcast platform. You can subscribe to it there too. Apple, Spotify, Google. We have a Facebook page where we post all of our shows. We have a Facebook group where post what you're listening to, post what you're drinking. I've posted many times that I'm listening to something by Dusty, Conductor or Bandit, or and drinking some good Jim Beam whiskey or something. Tonight I'm drinking this Ironroot Republic brandy, sleight of hand brandy. So but yeah, jump on the Facebook group, tell everybody what you're listening to, tell everybody what you're drinking. You may find something that you haven't heard of before, either a musician or a whiskey. So check that out. And just wanted to mention a couple other things. One is, let me find it. Bourbon on the Banks is coming up on Saturday, October 7th. Be sure to be there. And it's a lot of fun. Just really good whiskey festival. Lots of good people. So go to bourbononthebanks.org for ticket details. Our good friend Amzie Winning is on the board of Bourbon on the Banks. They not only promote lots of different distilleries, they also use the money that comes in to fund some scholarship programs. So it's very, very cool stuff. So, all right. Dusty, thank you again. And
Thank you, man.
Just always love chatting with you, and love listening to your music too. So, probably, I don't want to say I love listening to your music more, but it's
That's
close. Cool. It's close. It's close. No, I love you. You're always good.
Love y'all too, man.
See you out. Yeah. So, but on behalf of Drew and Dusty and myself, until next time, cheers, love, and free bird.
Hey. Cheers. Cheers, love, and free bird. I dig that.